Just a few days ago, we had AEW Wrestle Dream. It was a damn good show that saw the debut of Adam Copeland, but the streets keep telling me that I forgot to talk about NXT No Mercy, which happened a day earlier. And listen, I didn't forget, it's just that AEW pay-per-views for me take precedent over NXT pay-per-views because I actually pay a lot of money to watch the AEW pay-per-views. For me at least, when it comes to reviews, AEW pay-per-views always gotta go first. And there will be plenty of weekends where we have AEW and NXT going up against each other, so for future reference, just know that AEW pay-per-views will get reviewed first and then NXT will come like right after. I know we're a couple days off now, viewership may not be as high, interest may not be as high either, but here we are. We are now going to review and talk about every match that happened at WWE NXT No Mercy 2023. What could have been, right? Sad. The show opened with Baron Corbin versus Braun Breaker. I must convey that I am not a fan of the NXT product. Not that I don't like it. I am honestly enjoying it more and more that I see pay-per-views and clips on Twitter and YouTube and all that type of stuff. I'm enjoying the product more and I'm likely going to start watching the show weekly. But I can't call myself an NXT fan because I don't watch the weekly television show. So I honestly don't know what's going on with majority of the feuds, but if there's one feud that I have seen more of than any other one that was on this card, it was Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. So I had a little bit of meat to chew on before we got into this match. Now, my expectations were low because I've never really seen Baron Corbin as like this exquisite wrestler in the ring, you know what I mean? Braun Breaker is good, but he's never been like anything that lights my world on fire, honestly. So when I saw these two men going up against each other, I said as long as it's like 5 minutes, it's like a Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 33 type beat, I think it'll be fine. And the match started off fairly hot with Braun Breaker doing that dive over the top rope onto Baron Corbin. They were brawling outside. Like, it started off hot enough. And then within 2 minutes, they kind of dialed it back when they got in the ring. And I was like, all right, well, slowed down for a bit. And then they got outside of the ring and Baron Corbin choke slammed Breaker through the announce table. Only for Breaker to recover within like 10 seconds and spear him, which I thought was kind of odd. Maybe they're building him up as like that Goldberg type, so okay. I thought that was odd, but okay. Then Matt Stone came into the mix, and I don't know who he's aligned with, so I was like, okay, this is odd. And Baron Corbin eked out the win, hitting the end of days after Braun got distracted. This match was decent. Nothing to brag about. I'm going to give it 3 stars. Cut down on the time and keep it at a sprint. It could have been way better. But overall, okay opening. Dominic Mysterio defended his NXT North American Championship against Trick Williams with special guest referee Dragon Lee. Now, I'm not watching, so do they say Dragon Lee like they used to say in, New Japan, or is it Dragon Lee? I like Dragon Lee better. Also, whoop that Trick! Trick Williams in one match has become one of my favorite things about the brand. And it was not really the wrestling, because the wrestling between these two honestly was Dominic Mysterio in the ring has gotten better, but he's still not that good in the ring. This is my first experience seeing Trick Williams wrestle, so I can't really comment on him as a wrestler, so you can easily chalk this up, or at least I can easily chalk this up as maybe they just didn't have good chemistry with each other. If Trick Williams is a good or even decent enough wrestler, then they just didn't have good chemistry. We can chalk it up as that. Now, if he's not good, then his entrance saves the entire gimmick, because that shit got me pumped up for the match. The crowd's going, whoop, that Trick, and then Booker T's like, I like it. What's up? The vibe is just everything. And that alone, not that alone, but that alone should have won him the championship, and it did. He hit the running knee onto Dominic Mysterio and pinned him. Dragon Lee was basically a non-factor this match, I'll be honest. If he was a factor, I don't remember anything he did. But Trick Williams got the W, which I thought was the right call to make. As far as the match goes, I would also give it 3 stars. It's right with Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, where it's like it's decent, but like that's kind of it. I'm happy to see Trick as champion, and I'll be watching NXT to see that championship run. Also, I did see the promo segment on Raw where Rhea Ripley basically told Dominic Mysterio either bring that title back home or don't bring your ass home at all. And it's a little puzzling for me because I don't really see why the Judgment Day needs to be teasing any type of breakup right now. They're all champions and Mr. Money in the Bank, they're at the top of the game. Why now are we having these segments? Especially when you have the bloodline already having this weird energy where are they broken up? Are they not? Is Jimmy with them? Is Jimmy not? What's Jay like? We already have stuff going on with the bloodline on SmackDown. Having Raw have that same kind of, I don't know. I personally would just have them stay together for right now. Two of your biggest factions should not be having issues. I know it adds drama, but I don't think it's necessary. Will Dominic win the title back today? I don't think so. So I guess Dominic's going to be out of Judgment Day soon. Okay. We'll see what happens there. Now, bear with me, y'all. I got to look at Wikipedia because I don't know all these guys' names. We have Channing and Lorenzo versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo versus Bronco Lima and Lucian Price versus the Creed brothers. Oh, they're in there somewhere, okay? It was for the NXT Tag Team Championship. If that didn't show you how little I consume this show, I don't know what else. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I detest fatal four-way tag team matches. Unless it's a tornado tag. Whenever there are 4 teams, but only 2 teams can be in the ring, and in order for another team to legally get in the match, an opponent of the other team has to tag you in, is the dumbest concept I have ever heard. It will never not be stupid to me. Now, I believe all 4 teams worked with what they had, and they produced a good match. If there's one standout team for me, it's definitely the Creed brothers, especially this guy right here. Not Brutus, but the other one. What's his name? Hold on. Julius Creed. Yeah, that guy's him. He was just suplexing, doing kip-ups every single time, doing dives, and then the other one was doing planches too, which I was like, all right, these guys, they why aren't they champions right now? Also, these guys came out on lowriders when they had their entrance to the ring, and all I thought about was WWE 13. So, I mean, they were cool for the entrance. I already had prior knowledge of Humberto and Angel Garza from the NXT Black and Gold days. Garza used to be one of my favorite wrestlers in NXT. Their new gimmick is very generic in my opinion. Not a fan. The family, I didn't see what was so special about them, but they retained the titles, so good on them. I would give this match 3.5 out of 5 stars. Though I was not a fan of the stipulation, the match impressed me a lot more than I thought it was going to. Noam Dar took on Butch for the Heritage Cup. I'd seen 2 prior Heritage Cup matches and they all fucking ruled. I love the concept of 3 6-minute rounds or 6 3-minute rounds or something like that. It's new, it's innovative, and with that British wrestling inclusion, it can hit really hard. This was largely boring though. I don't know what was going on here between these two because they're both really damn good wrestlers, but it was not hitting at all. The last 2 rounds were entertaining, but it doesn't make up for the first 4 rounds being nothing but duds. Maybe not duds, but just nothing burgers. Noam Dar retained, which was a good idea because I'm enjoying the metaphor. I think they're a really dope faction and can go far in the company. I'm not going to hold you, this match is like 2 3/4 out of 5 stars. It redeemed itself in the end, but largely to do about nothing. Really disappointing from both men. Carmelo Hayes defended the NXT Championship against Ilya Dragunov in a Match of the Year candidate. I don't think Ilya Dragunov realizes that wrestling is scripted and or fake. This guy is always on 10 no matter what he's doing. And it makes me so happy because I first discovered him in 2018 and I knew he was something then. But now people are starting to actually see how talented he is and I'm so overjoyed. He elevates anybody he's in the ring with because not only is he one of the best wrestlers in the world, but he is bar none top 10 best facially visual storytellers in the world. He looks like he's in the fight of his life no matter what match he's in when he wants to do it. Carmelo Hayes is him. He is honestly pound for pound one of the best wrestlers in the world today as well. So the best of the best go up against each other. What do you get? A fucking masterclass. This match is 5 stars without question. Ilya Dragunov's a new champion. Couldn't be any happier. What's next for Carmelo? I see SmackDown in the future. And a brand led by Ilya is a brand I'm willing to watch. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship was really damn good. Wasn't crazy about it on the first viewing, but on rewatch, it has its perks. You had your typical spots, the kendo sticks, the steel chairs, the tables. We had Barbie dolls at one point, which I thought was kind of dumb, but I get it. Some points of the match did feel rather slow, like they were just kind of marching to the finish. But Tiffany Stratton shines super bright in this match. She is going to be one of the top stars on the main roster in a couple years. Becky Lynch came out with a huge gash on her arm and a win, retaining the championship. I would have went the other way, but I'm going to give this match 4 stars. Pretty mid show up until the last two matches. Enough to earn a new fan.